Okay, guys, back here with you on Monday, the 10th of June, and next up is a look at Litecoin. Now, this is an interesting example. So here's the, let's see, I think we did a video on this last week. So just picking up where we left off, right? So we had been under the assumption, based on the count, the subdivision was all there, that we had a 3, 4, and the 5 was in of the 1, and that we were in the process of starting the correction, looking for the 2 down around the 50. So you can see we had this anticipation here. Well, if you're a bull, this is a high-class problem. So we've just taken out the pivot here. Well, actually, we took it out overnight. So what do we do, right? So we've got to relabel it. So I think we can do this on the fly. So this is a 4-hour. Let's see. Let me try a 2-hour here, and we'll just kind of go through this together. So this should be relatively straightforward here. So we can see the subdivision was all quite good here. But if this, we had considered the possibility of a WXY. So, I guess we can still leave that on there because I think that is still potentially in play here. But just for the simplification, let me pull some of this off here and see if we can do this. I'm trying to do this on the fly here. See, so I'm going to leave some of this in here of the larger degree. So let's pull that up. Okay, so some of this will pull. Okay, so if we're looking here, so with this, and note we've got a clear impulse here. So pretty straightforward that what we've got to do is start moving some pivots around. So this likely now becomes our 3. This becomes our 4. The 1, 2 doesn't change. Right now I have a lot of things wicked off here, so I'm going to pull some of this off just to try and clarify the chart a little bit and just clear a few things up. Okay, so these, when we look, these pivots here, these are tied to pivots off to the left. So I'm going to leave those in play as this, we've got a potential pivot up here that we might be looking at. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, well, that means we've got to get an impulse here into this 3. So if the 2 is going to hold here, so it would appear, let's see, let's take this up a degree. We'll take that to micro. Okay, and then we'll go down. Okay, so it looks like we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me drop that. Oh, no, I don't want that. Excuse me. Come here. Sub-micro. And let's go to white so we can see. Okay, so it looks like we have to go into a 1, 2. Let's see, do I have that? No, I think we've got to go 1. Let's see. So this stays as our 1, 2. This becomes, this has to be, shit, let's see here. So this, we've got to get this. So this is our 1, this is our 2. We can definitely get 3 going here. So we might have to do it this way. So this becomes 3. So I'm just going to add another degree here. So we'd go 4 here. So this is the 5 here. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this 5 has to get pushed off here. This potentially now going up here. All right, so let's look at that. So we got to go 1, 2, 1, 2. I think we got to do it this way. So if this becomes our 5 is up here and this is our 3, then this has to become a 5 up here. This has to become a 3. This is our 4, so this is on a lower degree. So this has to be, shit, what do I want to hear? I need another degree. So this becomes 3, 4, 5 here. So that is our, right here. So then this, we've got to go 1, 2, I think we have to do it this way. Sorry guys, I won't get this here. So we got to go 3, 4. This has to, oh, fuck, come here. The single most annoying trait of TradingView. Okay, so this has to go 4. All right, so this becomes our 3. So we got to get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that. So I'm short 1 degree here, but we can open this up. You can see it. So we've got to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of that 3. So let's check it here. So if that's, we can do it this way. So we go golden zone here. We get third target. Now pulling into the 3 from the 2. Let's look at that 2 through that 3. All right, so golden zone. So we went golden zone here, golden zone here. Now the 4 here. So this is deep, no doubt, for a 4 relative to this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 5. So now we'd be pulling here. So now I'm pulling from the 2. So do you see here? This is the 2. Here's the 3 pivot up here. So we're down to the 4. What do we get? Right to the 50. So this becomes an ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So are we done? Well, yeah, maybe, right? So it looks, we're stalling a little bit here, but we've got, so you see the clear algo target that we have right here. So from this, that's likely a front run on the 50. There's your target for the 5 of the 5, potentially now of the 1. So how's our any geometry we can work with here? Well, we definitely have, let's take a look here. This pivot here might be in play. Get that right on there. Tricky. So is it, this is the lower low, but that would have us hitting it right now. Let's pull this off here. A bit of a judgment call here. So this is the lower low. Let's try the 2 here. So there's always a little bit of a trial and error here if it's not clear. Right, so that has us already there. So looking back here, we're already there. So this is the last pivot before we move. I think I like this a little bit better here as the last swing low before we head up. Now those look like they're spot on. So we have, let's see. So let's check this. So from, come here, from this pivot to this pivot. Ooh, very close. Thought we might have a gold in here, but with a slight break here. So is it breaking here to get to the 50? Could be. Hard to say. So if we go back a pivot, now you're right at it. Tricky one, right? So these are so close. Well, I don't think it really matters necessarily because here's the dominant from the 2 here, from this 2 low to this. So this is the dominant 50 here. So we'll call this just a straight corner pocket. All right, so from that pivot, right, if this holds, we maintain our 80% probability of making the median line. Now, do we get it here? Do we get here? We don't know, but right now it looks like if it's going to take a little bit longer, we could be hitting up higher here. So this target is certainly in play. We'll have to wait and see what happens if we get there. And our high here is 29.54, and I'm on Coinbase here. I should note that. Why that's always over there. So looks like this is we're still seeking the pivot high of the 1 wave relative to the entire move. So if I go back to a 4-hour here, can we get the whole thing? All right, so if we're going to get that target up there, and nothing says we have to stop there, but that's a reasonable target to be looking for. So just kind of setting up the potential retrace here. At some point there's likely to be a retracement of some depth. So here would be the area we'd be looking for the 2. So here's the bigger zone down here, right? That's where we'd be looking for the 2, right? If it's going to follow traditional retracement relationships relative to if this impulse here when we get it completed. Right now it just continues to carry on. So for Litecoin bulls, or if you're long Litecoin, these are high-class problems. When you're relabeling a 5 into a 3, and if you're long or a bull or for whatever reason, those are high-class problems. So I think we get the subdivision to work here. 3, 4. We're up for the 5. We're still seeking the 1. Oh, just out of curiosity here, from the absolute low. Well, so is that the front run? This is the 50 here. So this has been realized. So we're going, so this is why I had that up here, because we have second target here. So this was 50 to the tick, you'll recall here, from this 2, 3, 50 to the tick. Now we've tagged that target. We got the reaction. Now we're to and through. Second target is up here at this area that I've highlighted here. So that's that also could be in play relative to this set of median lines if we're going to get up that high. Don't know that we are, but it's reasonable that we could be kicking up here. If we don't pause here, that'd be the next target. Let's call that 143. So, and then into this last little swing that we've had here, so it looks pretty solid. So let's label it here just since we're here. So 1, 2 looks like 3, 4. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. you know, at some point we're going to run out of gas here. So let's check the technicals. So if that's, actually, well, let's check both of them here. So is this the 2 here through the pivot? This might help us. So there's 50, pretty close to the tick. Here's the algo target already realized, or are they pulling from this pivot? The 1, 2 looks a little shakier here, so it looks like you got to go A, B, C. So I'm going to stick with this because this looks quite technical here. So we're on the lower parallel of this median line. That first target has been met. So I'm going to pull this one off. So from the 4, we're, you know, how are we doing on any help here down here? Can't really say there's any divergence, right? So this has potential for an extension or to potentially be relabeled. If that's going to be, if this could be 1, 2, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a degree higher, that's certainly possible. Looking in here, that's not a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, shit, God, that looks not unlike what we were kind of trying to carve out in Ethereum. The 1, 2 looks very similar. So is Litecoin just ahead of the pack here? It could be. So it looks like you got to A, B, and then you got this little sloppy diagonal to give you your 2 down here. But I like the way we get the technical response at the 4 looks pretty solid. So coming out of here from this 4, Jesus, 1, 2, that's not great looking. So this is the last pivot that I would be paying attention to as we hit right here as a possible retrace pull. So from that low up to here, well, so, you know, again, just same stuff we'd always do here. So wicking off these pivots as potential support zones. If this is going to have another kick in it, if this is the 4, boy, that isn't 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's ugly in there. This is a bit of a guesstimate as to but this is the last pivot before we go up. So if this is going to stay, if we're going to get an internal retracement as we come down, you want to start looking for signs of, you know, do we hold here? I mean, this is certainly a candidate for some support if we're going to get another kick in that to get up to those upper targets. So if we're going to get up to some of this, so we get a pretty juicy zone right up here. Let's call it 132 to 135. Looks pretty solid down here on this lower time frame. So we're gonna need another little kick to get up here and get some of that. But right now, there's no reason to assume we won't get it. It looks pretty solid. This area here is a little tricky. We're gonna need a little more data to know where we're pulling from. I'm just using the last pivot before we head up. So yeah, that looks like that's got to be the 1, 2, 3, 4. Just out of curiosity before I trail off here, how do we do on that 3? 2272. Nice. So it doesn't look like it would. So you could on this. Doesn't look like that would make sense. So it looks like you. Just out of curiosity, if we use this, not much. Don't get the 2. We don't get the 2,618. So I think we stay here until proven otherwise. So the 1, 2 is a little shaky, but we'll have to see if we start a little retrace here, or if this is just going to be all this little cluster here is going to, perhaps on a very small degree, we've got a little triangle going in there. Hard to say, right? But if we're going to break out of this and get up towards these upper targets, then likely this would be the 4, and we'd be looking at a different degree here. I'm on the 30-minute now. Maybe we're down to the. I don't like to go below the 15, but you might have to dig that out here. So if there's one more little kick out of this, at some point here, we're going to get up to where this is all going to be completing. And then we would anticipate more of certainly a deeper retracement. But at the moment, right, we're still rolling. So trade cautiously here. There's no point here where I am suggesting to sell it. What I'm proposing is wait for the next buy opportunity. Right? I don't want to be so this set of algo targets here, that is not a sell signal. It never is a sell signal. If you're long, it's a place to consider taking profit. Right now, if the target coincided with a larger degree pull and you had a golden zone at a target, now different story. But you're not selling off of the target. Okay, guys, that ought to give you enough to chew on there. But I I do not see any reason to be looking at the short side here at the moment. Okay, guys. All right. Back to you later.